Hey there guys, and welcome back to Utility Sports. In today's video, we are going to be doing a 3-round Atlanta Falcons mock draft. If you do enjoy our NFL draft content, please subscribe. We do appreciate your support, and we want you to be able to stick around for future videos and let us know in the comments section below what you think of these individual team mocks. And we are going to get started here with the Falcons. We are going to select 3 rounds, the TDN predictive board and manual. And we are going to be sitting here at pick 8 for the Atlanta Falcons and kind of going over some of their needs. They definitely need an edge. I think that they haven't really been able to replace Vic Beasley, and they have to replace McKinley, and they need to address that edge spot desperately. And kind of looking at how the board fell for us, really interesting how this worked out because Sewell did fall all the way here. Obviously, we're not going to be really looking in that direction. And I think you got to go the best player for your need here at this 8th spot. We're going to go Gregory Rousseau, who's a power rusher for the Miami Hurricanes, and he is going to be stepping into the Atlanta Falcons day one and making a huge impact on that defensive line for the Atlanta Falcons. So with this number 8 pick, we are going to go with Gregory Rousseau from the University of Miami. I really like what he gives the Atlanta Falcons. They need an edge rusher. That is obviously what they're lacking is a pass rush. And so for the Falcons to get Rousseau at 8 is a blessing. I'm not sure if, during the NFL draft, if that's going to be realistic because the Chargers are sitting ahead of them and they have some issues with Melvin Ingram's contract. So, they very well could take him. And I think that the Falcons could also look at Kwity Paye from Michigan as an option with their selection there. And then now with the next pick, obviously we see some tackles on the board. We have a wideout on the board. Obviously have some corners. We're going to take a look at the linebacker position for them. And I think honestly, Atlanta needs to look at linebacker. That's definitely a positional need. I think Nick Bolton makes a lot of sense from Missouri. I really like his game, and I think Nick Bolton's going to be a really good fit for the Atlanta Falcons. You got to beef up the linebacking core, got to improve that defense. I know we're going back-to-back defense, but the offense is fine for the Falcons. We just got to work on that defense. We got to get them healthy too. They've had some injuries, and I think Nick Bolton slides in really nice at the linebacker position for the Falcons. So we're going to take that selection. And, guys, let me know below if you thought that was the right pick in the 2nd round. I think there were some other guys that were pretty interesting. And obviously, I was going to go positional need for the Falcons there. They got to keep improving the defense. That's the big thing for me is Falcons, just keep working on your defense. You need the edge. Maybe we can come around and get another edge. I don't know. We're going to have to see kind of how the board plays out. 2 edges just went back-to-back there. And we also have to look at running back, too, as a potential. And Lindstrom goes in the interior of the offensive line. I was going to look possibly at the interior. I wasn't exactly sure, but Chuba Hubbard looks like a great selection here. Before this season started, Chuba Hubbard was widely regarded as the best running back in this year's class before anything had happened. So I think that Chuba Hubbard makes a ton of sense for the Atlanta Falcons. We have the uncertainty of if they're going to bring back Todd Gurley or not next season. Chuba Hubbard is a beast. He's got some issues with fumbling the football, but honestly, that's not the biggest deal. We can kind of clean that up if we're the Atlanta Falcons. So looking at Chuba Hubbard, I think that makes a lot of sense in the 3rd round, 72nd overall. You're getting a guy who was widely regarded as a 1st-round talent. He's elusive. He can break tackles. He's a guy that you're going to have under control for 4 years for a contract, and you can kind of spell some of your other backs like Brian Hill in there. And I really like the selection of Chuba Hubbard with this pick at 72. For the Falcons, you have to feel pretty good with him still being on the board. I think this is kind of where his range is going to be. I think he's going to go anywhere from mid-2nd all the way into the 3rd. Here's kind of the range of where Hubbard's going to fall. I mean, he's a really, really talented back, and I think for the Falcons, you got to get yourself a running back, obviously, with the uncertainty of Todd Gurley's contract. And honestly, I think, great selection there for Atlanta if they can get him in the 3rd round. So that's going to be the conclusion of our 3-round mock for the Atlanta Falcons. Kind of a review, we took Rousseau in the 1st. In the 2nd, we took Nick Bolton from Missouri. Obviously, you got to clean up the linebacker spot a little bit. There's some other positions that you could address, but I think linebacker is really important for this Falcons team. And obviously, at pick 72, we were able to land Chuba Hubbard from Oklahoma State, who's a dynamic running back. He's the second best running back in the class behind Etienne. A lot of people, back and forth on them, but I think Etienne's a little more dynamic. That's why he's a guy that could possibly go in the first round. And he very well could go in the second round as well. So don't quote me on that. But Chuba Hubbard in the third round, really good value. You're getting a guy who was potentially a first round, pick if the draft had happened before the season started. In the early mocks, we saw a lot of Chuba Hubbard in the very end of the first round. So thanks guys for watching. Please let me know what you thought of the video. I do appreciate your support. If you could subscribe and like this video, that would be great. Can't wait to see you in the next video.